Welcome to part 2 on Porky's Corner. We're just waiting for Terry to honour us with his presence. I've just been out to the car. It's pissing it down out there. Absolutely teeming it down. This is all you get in this country. Bad weather. The only place it teems any worse for rain round here is Manchester. Every time I go to Manchester, it rains. I don't know why they call it the rainy city. Here's Terry. Women love him, men want to be him. How are you doing, Terry? What picture we got up now? What's that?
Oh. Beterbiev or Pokeviev.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, do you know Stephen Lee's band's up yesterday? You know that snooker player?
Yeah. But what was he banned for?
Max Fiction, 12 years ago.
Is he going to play again?
No, he's not. I've just been told this morning he ain't going to play again. Which
Didn't you 147 him once?
I don't know. I think he's done 147, but he had his queuing action is something to with old apparently. Like really, really good. The Rolls Royce queuing action, big fat geezer, wasn't he? But yeah. My argument with that is this: he got a 12-year ban. They spent thousands trying to get him out of the game. What about John Higgins getting caught in a sting? Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
No, what happened with that, did it? It all got brushed away.
Yeah, but John Higgins was one of the establishment, wasn't he?
He was number 1 at the time, or number 2 in the world.
Yeah.
Running for years. And now, and I think to myself, well, I look at Barry Hearn, who was heading the operation, and then I read the Steve Collins versus Barry Hearn court transcripts. And I read them again last night, and I thought, wow. Approaching WBO officials and stuff like that, and all sorts went on. And Steve Collins barrister went to town on them, and he had to pay £1 million, didn't he? Bazza. So, and then I look at the Stephen Lee situation, and it was all hearsay and this and that, and he said, she said, and I didn't think it was nailed on, and the kid got 12 years to send the message out. But I wonder how he feels today, knowing he's done his ban and he's not going to come back. I don't know. I believe everybody deserves a second chance. Obviously, I spent a lot of time in prison over years, and I've had many chances. But I believe everybody deserves a second chance, and he's not getting one. Conor Benn's had 2 situations with cheating and punching people in the head, by the way, and nobody's saying a word. They're not even coming out and explaining it. So what's good for a goose must be good for a gander. You see where I'm coming from? So I just think it's in bad taste. They give him a 12-year ban. I think that's shocking.
Yeah, but they didn't need Stephen Lee, did they?
What?
They didn't need Stephen Lee.
No, they didn't need him, you see. They needed John Higgins. It's like they need Ronnie, don't they?
Yeah, and boxing needs Conor Benn.
What do they need, Conor Benn? Well, they only need him for Eubank couple of fights that they're going to have 2, aren't they, apparently? So, I mean...
This needs to stop, right? This rematch stuff just needs to stop. And it annoys me when boxing fans don't get it. Like, look, we saw Beterbiev Bivol. We don't need to see it again.
Yeah.
Right? We don't. Like, I'm tired of all this. Yeah, but the first one was close. They should run it back. No, they shouldn't run it back. The whole point about boxing was you fight and you go your separate ways. If it makes sense, like a year or 2 down the line, fine. But all this having to watch, I just don't want to see it anymore.
I don't want to see it at all, mate. At all. I mean, why are they giving them rematches before they've even fought? Can't the fans decide if it's worthy of a rematch, Terry?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want to see Bivol versus Beterbiev because that's 2 guys that really none of us are invested in. Like, it was for undisputed, yeah. They're both undefeated, yeah. But we're not invested in them. You know what I mean? We're just not.
Can we give a big shout out to Nathan Cleverly? I hope Nathan Cleverly's all right. Nathan, I've had my issues myself with what you're going through, so I hope you're okay and there's help out there for you, mate. So
yeah, I feel for him.
Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it? The way his career ended probably wasn't how he wanted it to end.
Listen, Nathan Cleverly is a millionaire in property. He's got regular income, and he's maybe bored and got a lot on his plate. Maybe bored and not got much to do, kind of thing. And you know, you can go out, can't you, on a Saturday with your mates? Then it's Friday, Saturday. Then it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then it's Friday, Saturday. Oh, it's Sunday, and then it's Monday, bank holiday. Then before you know where you are, it's every day. And I've been there, mate. And I feel for him. And there's no worse than looking out at blinds every 20 minutes, 7 days a week, thinking that he's on top when really it isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many a time I used to run out my house. And my bird at the time would go, "There's nobody there. What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, there is. You've seen me in some states, Terry. I used to go walking, mate. I used to walking around Donny. Oh, it's on top. It's on top. I remember
Mate, you're
walking. Go on.
you're the most paranoid person I know. Like, legit. I was
Oh,
thinking
that
about
I
this
am.
yesterday. Yeah, but no, I remember like you're the sort of guy like I might send you a voice note as a joke, right? Go into the gym for an hour and a half. I come back and there's like 6 messages, and they get more and more angry. I'm like, fucking hell, what happened there?
I've been in some right states over the years, but you know what? I don't miss that. I'm so happy when we saying at the moment I'm in a good place. But I feel for Nathan Cleveland. And do you know what? It's an hard cycle to break. And everybody's patting you on back because everybody used to pat me on back. Not that I'm a famous sportsman, because they wanted something that I had, and it's hard to fathom out because people are very cunning, aren't they? Very, very cunning. They'll come and sit in your company and they'll tell you you're fantastic, you're this, you're that, and blah. And you think, oh God, I feel so great. And Russ, you're not that fat. Oh, aren't I? No, you're just big boned. That's a big bone. And then a member of my family go, you're not big bone, you're a fat cunt. You don't just get big boned overnight in your 40s, Russell. And I'd be like, oh, no, they say I'm big bone. You're not big bone, you're stocky. Oh, man. And really, you're fat. But people will come and tickle your arsehole because they want what you've got, or they want to be in your company. I don't know, mate, but Nathan Cleverly will have that, and there's many a boxer. Liam Cameron used to get it all the time. There's many a boxer out there in pub like that. I could have been a runner bean, but now I'm just a should have been, whatever. And everybody's got a story, haven't they? And everybody wants to sit with them and talk about the past. And then they want, before you know where you are, you're captain toilets all night. The stinkiest toilets in the fucking world. You'll be in a really nice pub. You'll be in a stinky toilet with one cubicle next to one you're camped in with one steaming log in there. Do you know what I mean? And you'll be camped in there all night talking utter shit about moon landings. I don't want to go through that again in my life. You know what I mean? Or flat Earth.
That's you and your pal Frotch.
Oh, we'll not go down that route. He's all right, Carl. He just needs to get me on his channel. I'll be coming for him.
Yeah, he does, man. Like, hey,
get him on here, eh? What do you think? Get Cobra on here. Or shook up the world.
That'd be mad if you two did like a proper sit down, like Parkinson.
You'll have a night with Cobra or go have a cuppa with him and all that, and it's fantastic. Start talking about coming on YouTube channels. He's like, ooh. Let's do a live one. God, that's even worse. At least if we record one, we can edit it out what Porky says. Listen, you know what? Who'd have thought we're involved in giving an opinion on a sport that telling the truth, Terry, would upset that many people? Who'd have thought that in this day?
Yeah, but boxing's all about the grey areas, right? Boxing's always been about keeping the fans in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
BoxRec messed a lot of things up in boxing.
Oof. Although what they're doing now, they've got Crusher Benn, number 2 ranked at welterweight. He hasn't fought at welterweight for over 30 months. He's number 2 ranked there, and he's had 2 fights in 30 months, and they were abroad, and they were at like middleweight. So how is he even ranked at welterweight? Answers on a postcard, porkycorner@mail.com, bottom left-hand corner. Also, anybody who's got any knickers and wants to come on Zoom, feel free. I'll tell you what we've got on today, after we've finished this part 2. I've got a kid called Ryan on. And a couple of years ago, I remember sat in here and he said, when you get me on channel, you cunt. I said, what are you calling a cunt? He went, who are you talking to? You cunt, fuck off, you're never coming on again. Well, he's apologised today and emailed me and wants to come on. So I believe in second chances, Terry. Now, you know me personally. That wouldn't have happened a few years ago, would it?
Oh, God, no.
No, it wouldn't have done, would it?
You'd have been trying to get his address.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I'm not that bad now. But no,
Mate, the leather jacket would have come back on. The tracksuit would have been there.
do you know what? That was Max turning up at my house. Come on, Mug, we'll ship that Michael up. Because, oh, Max, I'm having me dinner. And I had a trackie on the Umbro trackie. He went, come on, let's get a coat and that. I says, come on then. I jumped in Max's car, got me famous black leather on and all, went that. And I think it was leather jacket don't go well with your trackie. I thought, all right, I got roasted for that. You know. Only thing worse would have been that Michael Jackson one that Redridge sent me 5, didn't they? And one,
Yeah.
I said, he sent me a red one. He went, yeah, I can and a white one. I goes, yeah. So I goes, well, I don't know if I'm going to wear them. I have worn the cringe. I give the white one away to somebody, but the red one, Max was terrorising me for it. I thought, are you out of your mind? But you don't mention it now, that red leather. Do you know why? Do you know who wears one, don't you?
Eddie
The
Hills.
Gad. The Gad.
Oh yeah. Oh my
The
God.
Gad pulled up on a motorbike, didn't he, at your call? Pulled his helmet off, shook his Bono haircut, and he was there in a red leather. I thought, oh my God, the Gad's got one. I'm never wearing it again. Got it. So if anybody wants it, get in touch and come and do a Zoom with me. And I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll do a competition. We'll do a competition. For them who want that leather jacket, you can have it. All right. And I'll send it. And whoever does most views, I'll give it away. So that it's the good ones, are proper, really nice material and that. I've only worn it 3 times. I'll tell you what they did send me. They sent me a sheepskin. And they give me a credit note, £1,000. I picked a sheepskin out and one of them hats that goes with it. And hat were 150. And she goes, oh, it's 1150. You owe us 150. I went, all right. So I think I had to give him like 145 quid or something. But I got this sheepskin and this, like, you've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Wait, I was
Biggles.
that fat. I was that fat. Anyway, I couldn't get nobody to cut it down. Anyway, this lady that I know knew somebody who in up near Dennis's, and this place that proper did stuff like that. Anyway, they've tailored it for me, and I've got it back, and it only cost me 180 to get it done. So I've got a winter coat now. Tell. I go buy another one when I've had a freebie that's worth a bag of sand. I might as well get it cut down on that.
No, exactly.
But if anybody wants that red leather, send me an email. Max, it won't fit you anyway, 23 clem nearly. And you can have it. It's a bit too big for me. I bet it's about a 44 or something, but you can have it. And whoever does most views, the first 3 people who want it, we'll get you all on a Zoom. We can check it. I'll post it to you. How's about that? But we're doing a competition in November, 100 quid for most views on a Zoom. That's good, isn't it?
Okay.
But
Stakes are high.
hey?
The stakes are high.
The stakes are very high. Not as high as Fraser Clark's. It's Big Freezer's cheekbone. God, what happened there, Terry?
Do you know, like, my theory was that first fight really damaged him, and he probably just hadn't recovered.
Yeah.
Because you know, sometimes like you can take all those shots, and you can get like micro fractures and stuff.
Yeah.
And like if your face doesn't set properly after that, you get hit, and that's it. It goes. That's what I think, because Wardley's never done that to anyone before, and Fraser Clark hasn't been a guy to present himself as being vulnerable to that sort of thing either. So I was like, wait, that's come out of nowhere. But give Fabio his credit. He did exactly what you'd want someone to do. He just went, right, first round, I'm going to try to set about him, see what happens. Yeah, catch him cold, catch him feeling his way in, just set about him, and it worked. And I mean, no overtime, didn't take any unnecessary damage. Perfect.
Yeah. Do you think Fraser's finished now?
So you know me, I don't like to say boxers are finished, but Ben Shalom's got a question to ask himself. What do you do with Fraser Clark now? What level is he really?
I'm Ben Whittaker.
No, with Ben, the Ben problems can be fixed, right? And he's got time. He's still young, man. He's still in his mid-20s. So he's got time. There's no worry there. Fraser Clark's near, 10 years older? So what do you do with him? Like, he hasn't won a British. Probably doesn't seem likely he's going to win a British. So what do you do?
I don't know. Fraser Clark against Johnny Bosch, who wins? Fraser Clark against Dave Allen. Do you think Dave might be kicking this and he won't fit her?
I don't think Dave hits hard enough for for what we're suggesting. I don't think he would have put a dent in Fraser Clark.
Wardley does,
That,
doesn't he?
huh?
Wardley, it's hard, doesn't he?
We still don't know. I'm putting that down to just a freak occurrence because the way that jaw imploded, 3 fractures, Russ.
I know. They're saying a year out, aren't they, for him? That'll take him to 34 and a half.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to come back any sooner than 2026, to be honest, man. I'd let the whole thing heal and settle.
All next year.
Yeah. God, yeah.
But will he blown up, though, or will he take over a year?
If he wants to have a career, he'll stay on weight. But he shouldn't even be that heavy anyway. What did he weigh? Like 273 pounds or something. He was too big.
Yeah, do you know what? These heavyweights now are morphing into like big people, aren't they? Even like Joe Parker's 272, and then you've got Bacoli 294. What are they doing?
Everyone's trying to catch up to Max.
What with his 3-1 box record?
Yeah. 3 by way of.
Hey, can we give Nick Manners a shout out for his book?
Oh, you got a book?
Nick Manners has got a book out. Yeah, I mean, I've got to get through this. It's called 2 seconds. Let's have a look. Nick Manners. It's called. Hang on a minute. That's Liam Cameron's Queensbury thing. Where's his book here? Oh, here we are. It's #1 in bestsellers, actually. It's called Front by Nick Manners. Got to get through this with a foreword by Joe Calzaghe. It's #2 in the list. It's Around the World in 80 Fights, A Lifetime's Journey by Bunce. Then you've got Frank and Fearless, A Life in Boxing. I've got that, and somebody sent me it the other day. The Life and Times of Jimmy Wilde, that's #4. So Nick Manners has beaten Bunce and Bricktop in charts.
Ooh.
Go on, Nick Manners, pop, bang. Lovely kid, Nick, you know. Lovely kid.
Yeah, no, he's lovely.
I like to go over and see Nick. He's a good kid. He's my kind of guy. I like all Leeds lads. You know, I used to be in jail with loads of Leeds lads. I don't know if anybody knows any of these lads. I was in jail years ago when I was a young kid with Carl Freeman. He sadly passed away. He was a lovely kid, fantastic footballer. Mick Humphries, Carl Freeman, Martin Flair, Jerry Sheedy, Bernard Welsh. Who else were there? Just all proper Leeds lads, all proper old school proper villains. And I hope they're all okay. If anybody knows them, give them a shout out. Some good lads over there. Dennis Slade, he was in jail with me. He was a lovely kid as well. Proper area Leeds, proper Yorkshiremen out there. Proper Leeds United fans as well. When I went Nick with them lads, some of them actually, Leeds United won the title. Old First Division.
Wow, that's a long time
Serious
ago.
parties going on that weekend. Serious party. Yeah, Leeds won the title, mate. When they had McAllister, Gary Speed, Strachan,
Chapman.
Big Lee Chapman up front.
You know, I nearly got into a scrap with him.
Carl Shutt. Oh, Lee Chapman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nightclub owner, isn't he?
He
Restaurant.
was. No. So we got into it over a game of pool. He hates losing, Porky, and you know I'm rubbish at pool, right?
Yeah, you're terrible.
But I beat him.
Beat you one-handed.
Nah, not one. Come on, man. Don't lie like that. We're not one-handed. Don't make me have to learn, Russ. Don't make me have to learn.
Yeah, you have to practice. Listen, practice makes perfect. It's just like going to the gym, and it's just like me now. There's no more boring, is there, than weight training? And if you put too much weight on, you just puts you off doing it again. So you put a weight on that you can manage, and you get yourself in shape. You know, one thing I took from Flex and Mickey Theo is consistency. You know, we're training. Yeah. If you're consistent, you get results, don't you? But if you're going to be consistent and still eat the wrong shit, it all kills it, doesn't it? You know?
Mate, that's what it's about, mate. Like with me, like this year, I've just been more consistent with my gym work. So I not even whether I'm stronger or not, I just find the training easier to do and easier to recover from.
Strong, aren't you? You're like 120, 140 on bench, aren't you? Massive amounts of weight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all right, man. You know. The other day, Russ, I was in the gym, right? There's a young kid. Yeah, he's on all the gear, right? You can tell from all the acne on his neck. He's on all the gear.
Oh,
And I
dear.
see him struggling. He's struggling on a set of 5 with 42-kilo dumbbells. Just struggling, Russ. And I was just on the loosener. It was like my recovery day. So I thought, let me just do a little loosener, just playing around with weights. So he's got the 44s. Just knocked out 14 reps on the 44s. Kid looked heartbroken. Yeah, I'm there listening to, who was I listening to? Sophie Ellis-Bextor in the headphones.
Oh,
And it,
you're going to get roasted in comments for that. Murder on the dance floor.
mate,
But you better not kill the groove.
yeah, the acoustic version. Yeah, just the piano. It's just the piano. Yeah, I needed it though. That's what you need to kind of to get all your emotions out before you train.
Yeah. Oh, Terry, bless you. Okay, getting back to the rest of the show. What have we covered? Sky Nicholson, Raven Chapman. Do we even need to talk about that? It was absolute pony, wasn't it?
But I'm happy for Sky. I think the problem Sky Nicholson has is she's miles better than all of these. So no one's really able to test her. So we're not going to see her in a war because none of this other lot are any good.
You only like her because she's a little cupcake.
No. Do you know what? She's trained by my mate Eddie, right? So I'm always going to bang the drum for her. But she's also really good. If you look at how she boxes, makes the most of everything that she's got. She's got long limbs. Boxes like someone who's got long limbs. So you're like, yeah, fair enough. Good luck to you.
All right then. What have we missed out here then? Oh, Eubank against that guy whose name sounds like a spot cream that you put on a rash.
Mate, Eubank did the job, right? Just got his payday. No real damage. And on to Conor Benn March, April time.
April, it'll be 3 years since Conor Benn's fought in the UK. Is that when you think he's going to come back? They're going to give him a 3-year ban next week?
I think I don't even think they'll talk bans. I think you'll just hear that he's back next year, March, April time, and they'll go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's just trying to save face now.
Why can't they just come out and go, do you know what? I cheated. I got caught twice. I spent this much on lawyers, that much on lawyers. We've tried to spin that many stories, 7 different story changes, by the way. We've got it all logged here. And yet they still can't bring themselves to do it. Where's the dossier? 274 pages. Then it was 45 pages. So they think we're stupid. It's a bit like Bricktop, isn't it? Saying, oh, why do you want to go out to Saudi with human rights out there? It's terrible. But now all of a sudden he's holding hands coming out to the ring with Turkey. Do you know what I mean? Oh, it's all there. It's all online.
But this is why I tell people, right? Don't be overly principled in public.
Well, there you go.
Because everyone's got a price, as the $1 Million Man used to say. Everybody's got a price.
Before we speak about the main, Eubank obviously won, and good luck to him, and he's going to fight Crusher Ben. Before we speak about that, can somebody tell me why these YouTubers with access are not giving Joe Cordino an interview regarding him leaving Tony Peroni's gym? We had to change it from Slow Tony because a close friend of mine didn't like me calling him Slow Tony. So not that I'm really bothered about Sims's or any of them. I think the dicks. But I'm not going to call him Slow. So we'll call him Tony Peroni. Personally, I'd like to call him Tony Macaroni because he's full of macaroni. But why ain't nobody giving Joe Cordino an interview? Puppy Parsons, Coogan, the guard, all of them, because they all knew that he'd left and they all knew about what the offer were and what money were going missing. So why is he not getting his moment on a platform? I'll tell you why, because if he told the truth, they'd all be in bits, wouldn't they? And they'd all lose their access. This is what this is everything we've been banging on about for a long time, isn't it, Tal?
Mate, but it's the game, right?
When Oliver Davis left, they went, yeah, get him on any channel. We don't want him. Discard him like rubbish. That kid had done no wrong. What's good for a goose is good for a gander, Tell. Am I right?
Man, 100%. I just think, Russ, in this game, you got to decide, right? You either want the gravy train or you don't. If you don't want the gravy train, say what you want, do what you want. Brilliant. If you want the gravy train, you just got to do as you're told.
Yeah. Well, I won't conform, me. I've been like this since I was a kid. Ever since I used to come home from school, I just knew I would get it pit belt. I knew I'd be walking home at 4:15 thinking, in about 15 minutes, I'm going to be getting pit belts. I just know it. But I just soldier on and just take it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is a bit like this. I always have to go again. I'm always pissing in a fucking hurricane, aren't I? But these lot, the brass neck of them, and the best thing about it is, I watched one of them Puppy Parsons interviews the other day with 39 minutes with Eddie Hills. They never started talking boxing until 17 minutes in. It were all about crisps and Tom Ford sunglasses and
I mean, that's a bit like us, though.
and
We're a bit
rascal
like
trainers. That. Yeah, but we're not. We haven't got full access, have we? We can. Do you know what I mean? People come on here because I'm engaging. When I look to end of this, everybody's watching till end. Do you know what I mean? And I know what analytics are, and you've seen screenshots. So I don't like the fact that people say, "Oh, it's a cult." Maybe, but I don't like that. But I know that I can hold the crowd till end, but I know they can't because they can't do what I do. They're behind the fucking camera, mate. They're not in front of it. Do you know what I mean? Parsons and Coogan aren't. The Gad, he was telling me he's engaging. He just said that Usyk were like heavyweight gold medalist. Heavyweight gold medalist. Joshua was the super heavyweight. Do your research, Gaddy. You know what I mean? These people are on borrowed time, but they know it. They know it. But what it is, the brassers, they know what they are. I know what I am. Just a mouthy. But they know what they are. They've got no respect in the boxing industry. None. People use them just to get on the channels. They're not respected. I know they're not respected, and they know it as well. But they brass themselves off. But then again, when they're interviewing people that are brassing themselves off, I mean, or what do you expect? You've got Eddie this. What did he say the other day? Try to dampen it and go and reverse psychology. Listen, when Turkey says jump, I say how high, don't we, Frank? To Spotty Frank. And I was like, wow, grown men. Terry grown men. Could you imagine these at minor strike? There'd be scabs. There'd be scabs at minor strike. They'd be run out of a village. They'd be run out of a village barefoot. You know, they'd be run out naked or in their underpants, their wives and them in the knickers and bras, and the kids all running down the street, being chased by a mob. They would be scabs in the strike, mate. Like that Nottingham lot. I'm telling you now. Unbelievable, mate. I swear to God. If these were your co-accused, they're going Queen's evidence in dock. Am I right? They'd do a Bertie on you.
Oh, mate, so would everyone else, mate.
Listen, I wouldn't, mate. I got my porridge. I took it on.
I'm just of the view now. If anyone's got a reputation, if anyone's doing the podcasts, all of that, they've all ratted. I don't care who you are. If you're doing the podcasts, you've ratted. Because if you can talk freely about your crimes to, I don't know, Dodge Woodall, James English, you can talk to a policeman because they're far more canny at teasing stuff out of you. Like Russ, if I'd been a villain in my time, like a Curtis Warren, I'd never do a podcast. It's like you got to take some things to the grave.
Exactly, mate. Unless you've been caught like me in the act.
Yeah, if it's in the public domain, talk about it, right? Because it's already there.
I'll show you, mate. It's not to brag about. This is nothing to brag about. I'm going to show you that. But Kevin's like, why do you put them up there? I said, I put these up here. I put these up here, Kevin, to remind me of what happens when you go out in a mining village in a group. Yeah, that's what I got my jail for. That's the copper. And it's not to brag about. It was self-defense. But I have that there to remind me that, listen, you're going out in groups, and if one of you gets in a bit of trouble, you got to defend your mates, haven't you? And this is the other one, where 20 years later, they remembered me when I got pulled up, and they filled me in and knocked my teeth out. And gave me a good eye. And as you know, I got a concussion. We just, we're not starting knocking about together then. And they sent me down, and I got, I think I got 3 months. 2 weeks into the sentence, I got judging chambers, you know, they let you out.
Yeah.
But that's Sheffield Star newspaper. Dennis had reporters there from London. Because Dennis read out deposition, she said, bang out of all the water. Because it battered me, didn't they? I was mouthing off. I went, hey, tossers. Anyway, he'd had enough of me, this copper. He just up at the door and he went, slot. I only just met you and I want to fucking kill you. Slot. I had a concussion, teeth out all over, blood all over, job lot. All on camera in the police car, because they have a camera inside, don't they? Gets to court, it had been signed out that morning, the cop car has had a camera, all worked. Oh, camera's faulty. Luckily, a member of the public filmed it. So I got the camp. We managed to get the film off him, but I held it back at magistrates in my trial. So I'm not trusting anybody. I'm going to just pull this out in dock. It didn't mean note. It wasn't admissible as evidence because I'd held it back. So they sent me down. I had a broken leg at the time, crutches. I thought, wow. But the judge looked at it, Lord Chief Justice Peter Taylor, and I ended up with an acquittal a year later at Sheffield. And Dennis got all pressed there for me. So I always have them there to let me know that you shouldn't drink drive and you shouldn't go out in groups, you know, we mates. So I try to swerve that now. We're not in teams of people.
No,
So, not to brag about. It's not to brag about though. But go on.
No, I'll go in groups. But I tell people, if you start something, you better finish it.
Yeah, but if you're from a mining village and somebody's struggling, you've got two coppers filling him in. I felt, you know what, I need to back my pal here. And I did. And obviously, I never went home for 40 months.
It depends. Like, look, if I'm out with someone and they start mouthing off, I'll look at them and go, are you sure you can back this? If they can't back it, I'm like, you might want to wind this in, mate. Because you know what ends up happening, Russ? You always get one person in the group that can't fight and they start mouthing off because all of you are there.
Exactly.
And you can't have that. Especially when you're an age where you've got like family that relies on you to be out working and earning. Do you know what I mean?
I remember being on remand for it, talking to this old timer. I was, what reckon I'm going to get? Then he went, oh, section 18 on a copper. You can kiss the baby.
Mate, that's looking like 12 or something, man. Like they'll give you 12 for that.
Only a young kid, one, a 23-year-old, Rocky's Jordan, eye socket and that.
Mate, people underestimate your power. They
No,
only realize.
right. Listen, everybody at Village gave him a crack after me. That's probably what saved me. Because he had like stamps on his body and that from different type of trainers and stuff. Travel Fox, do you remember them?
No, that's before my time.
Went, Travel Fox, easy. My client wasn't wearing makes like that. Do you know what I mean? So he had all these stamps all over his body, and then I remember my mum saying, "Oh, there's a big thing outside newsagent. It says Edlington, the reign of terror continues." So, wow, what's happened? Oh, there's been a summit set on fire. Oh God, it was going crazy 30 years ago, though, wasn't it?
Do you know what, mate? Like, I've got friends in London, right, who only came to the UK in like 2007, 2008. And I try to explain to them what this country was like back in the day. I'm like, listen, people would just regularly get ashtrays over their heads, bottles over their heads, glasses. Like Friday nights, you knew wherever you lived, if it was a mining village, if it was a small town, if it was Tokyo Joe's in Preston, or if it was in Clayton Brook or Charlie, all those sorts of places, right? You knew on a Friday night, if there were problems locally, they were getting resolved in the pub. Yeah? Like you might be sat in there, Russ, and be like, Russ.
Where I was from, and get round in Cat Alley and get it sorted, and then you come back in and it's all done and dusted. There's no beef the next day, it's dealt with there and then. Or on the Sunday on the Woodfield, get at it.
Yeah, I just remember that. Remember that on a Friday, if you had a problem on a Friday, you'd be in that pub, and when the person you had a problem with showed up, it was just on site. In the pub, in the car park, outside, it didn't matter. On site, it just happened.
Yeah. Do you want to go on to part 3 just to finish this Berbatov one because we run out of time here?
All right, mate, you have to send me the link for 3, though.
Send you a link and go on, see you on part 3. Pop, bang!